Yes.
What is your real name?
Griselda Castillo.
So is Grizzy just like a nickname or?
Oh, yeah. It's been my nickname since the 3rd grade.
So let me ask you this. In your words, what is Grizzy's Hood News?
It's a place where everybody can come together and add more details when there's something happening in the neighborhood. They can share their point of view of what happened. We can get the word out. Sometimes we're waiting on breaking news. Grizzy's Hood News always tries to bring the breaking news as soon as possible, accurately, all the time. That's what we want to strive for.
When did Grizzy's Hood News start?
Started summer 2019, and it's just been blowing up. It was an accident. It wasn't supposed to be the Grizzy's Hood News that people are aware of today.
So you started it. What was the infancy of Hood News?
It was just a mom, a middle-aged mom, in like an empty nest crisis going on, trying to find something to do with her extra time. My daughter was already at college, and I just wanted to find something to do. So I would go to car shows, I would go to Slab Sundays. I was out there in the community in a different way. It was just like giggles and laughs, good times, and then it started turning into something more different.
When did you realize that we could do something different with this?
It was around the time when Lowrider Club reached out to me and they said, Grizzy, can you use the Hood News to amplify a Crime Stoppers fundraiser for a boy who was murdered? And I said, yeah. And it felt very fulfilling. I'm like, oh my gosh, this felt so good to use this platform to bring awareness to what happened to the little boy and to also try to get some justice for him.
And from there, it kind of just
other people started
into...
reaching out. Hey, this happened to my loved one, or hey, there's an accident over here. Things started pouring in that weren't things that I ever thought I'd be getting. And so, it's just turned into what we know today as Grizzy's Hood News.
You have more than 1 million followers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that this little pastime would turn into 1 million plus followers and growing?
Never saw that coming.
And now this is your full-time job, right?
Yeah.
This is all you do.
All I do.
Did you ever think that you'd be an internet sensation, a celebrity / independent journalist? Was that on the bingo card in high school?
No, I just see myself as Grizzy, just that neighbor that's got the details, the scoop. We all have that one neighbor that knows what's going on, and I consider myself that, just a neighbor. There's so many followers I've never met, but it's like we know each other, even if it's through, like if I never meet some of them ever in person, we're still friends, like even on the long side. I'm a neighbor maybe miles away or in the next state over because we've got other followers from other places. But it's just that community awareness that's real important to me.
And does the name Hood News come from where you started covering?
Yeah, Scenic Woods, the Scenic Woods area, Parker Homestead Road.
Mm-hmm. That's the OG Hood News area.
That was the birth of the Hood News right there. Mm-hmm.
So people always see you on Facebook on the Hood News, but they might not really know who Grizzy is. So I guess, who is Grizzy?
I'm a mom, I'm a neighbor, I like to study things, I love news, I love helping people, I love animals, and I try to bring those elements into the Hood News. I'm also a comedian. I just, I used to do that prior to the Hood News, so I like to bring a little element of, some giggles here and there when the time is right and when we can. And just bring community awareness, this is really important to me.
But you're like a stand-up comic back in the day?
I've done some comedy. I sure have.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
What else did you do? What was your job before the Hood News took over?
I worked for a forklift company. I worked for a corporation, and I got tired of that. I just wanted to do something else, and Hood News was always happening all the time, and I was trying to juggle both things, the corporate job and then this, and I'm like, you know what, let me bank on myself. I was ready to use my 401k if necessary, whatever. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give myself 2 years or maybe a whole year, and I'm going to gamble on me, see what I can do with this. And if it doesn't work out, I can go back, because I didn't leave on a bad term. So I just took a chance on myself. And that's my biggest thing to tell people, hey, gamble on yourself. You don't have to gamble, bet on you. And I did that.
And how old's your daughter now?
She's 24.
So what does your daughter think of her mom being Houston's probably biggest internet sensation?
She thinks I'm crazy.
Actually,
she thinks I'm crazy. No, she's very proud, but at first my dad's like, hey, you're going to get killed out there. What are you doing? And my mom's like, I don't like that. And I'm like, it's okay. That's me. That's what I want to do. And so I started doing it. It's just turned into this.
One of my favorite things is like, people that like want to have beef with you in the comments. You literally, like, I've seen you say like show up, like you want to talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Yes. I like to tell people like, hey, let me see what are you gonna do? There's always going to be a critic. You know what though? At the end of the day, I sleep good at night. Like I'm helping people, making awareness, and I'm living me. Like people can talk all day long, but I'm like that's irrelevant. I'm having a good time. I'm happy. I feel fulfilled, and somewhere in there, somebody's getting some kind of help or some kind of blessing through it. So why not?
I think a lot of people probably see a lot of the stories you cover. Some of them are really sad. Some of them are really tragic. Mm-hmm. You do it. I mean, I know you, and I know that you do it because you love and care for this community.
Yeah.
What does Houston mean to you? What do all these little neighborhoods, what do all the little hoods mean to you?
At the end of the day, all these different hoods, it's all one struggle. Whether you're rich, poor, whether it's River Oaks or Fifth Ward, there's a little bit of everything everywhere. And the one thing that unites us in Houston, we're Houston strong. We're going to help each other when times get rough. If the weather knocks down somebody's house or there's an extreme flood, there's going to be people stepping up to the plate. During freezes, we see people making food for others. Like right now with what's going on with, the lockdown, we see people preparing food for free, restaurants offering their services, and I think that's how we are. Like Houston is a great place. I mean, despite all the craziness we see through the Hood News and through KPRC, it's such a great place. It's a melting pot of different people, foods, ideas, beliefs, and it's just a great place.
Does it still surprise you to this very day, like some of the clicks that you get, how many views your stuff gets?
Yeah. It's amazing. I don't even have words for it. It's amazing.
Did you ever think you'd be able to reach this amount of, it's not even just Houston anymore. It's not even just Texas. People across the country check in and see Grizzy's Hood News. It's funny, like I know people back home in Pittsburgh that have heard of Grizzy's Hood News before.
Wow. I think it's great. I think there's a need for what I'm doing. I think I've inspired others to do it too. And I think it's pretty cool. I just tell people have fun. Don't take it too serious, but also try to help where you can and be as truthful always. That's going to always and if you don't know anything, that's okay. You don't have to know anything, but you're making awareness regardless.
One thing I've noticed is it seems like people trust you. They confide in you with, some of their biggest problems, some of their, whether something like's happening to them or their family. Like, does that feel like a weight, that people will come to you whenever they feel like they can't go to the police or to the government or to the news? Like they come to Grizzy as like that person in the community that there's like that's their life raft is Grizzy. Like, how do you process that? How do you deal with that?
It's tough. I wasn't used to things at first, and I'm like, you know what? I'm an older lady now, and I think it's like an auntie kind of situation where Tia Grizzy can help out. People bring me a lot of their problems, outcries, issues in the neighborhood, and it feels really great. Sometimes it does get overwhelming. I found myself needing therapy for some of the sad things that come into my messenger, but I feel like as long as I'm strong and stay prayed up, that it's something really good that I can do to help. And if I don't know an answer, I can try to point them in the right, angle.
It seems like every story you do has like an end impact for at least one person or like a group of people. Is that a big part of like how you, obviously there's so much that happens in Houston, but how you select your stories and what you cover is, the impact?
Yeah, I try to see what we can do. Like if it's feasible, like, hey, Grizzy, we're going to do this benefit. Okay, yeah, we can put it out there, help definitely. I can't falsely accuse anybody or, make, you guys know, you got to vet certain things. You got to know that something is being truthful. For the most part, I just see where we can help. Sometimes we can, unfortunately, other times we can't. And it's just that, just trying to create awareness. Even when we can't, we can still talk about something and say, hey, like, does anybody know what's going on? What can they do? And give them pointers.
So Hood News has been happening for like 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
What's the future of Grizzy's Hood News?
Where
do you go from here?
I don't know. I'm really happy right now the way it is. This partnership with KPRC too. I'm really excited. I'm gonna just take it. I'm gonna go the way the Hood News was brought into. Like it was just on a whim, and we're just gonna float with it. Like the seasons here in Houston. We never know what we're gonna get.
Would you ever sell the Hood News?
That's a good question.
Or does the hood news go to the grave with Grizzy?
It might. It might. You know, I've had some health scares, and that's something I have to look into. Like, what's going to happen if something happens to me? You know, I don't know. I don't think my family wants it. You know, they don't want it.
Your daughter doesn't want to do it?
No, no. She's got her own little life going on. I probably would, though.
You probably would sell? But not anytime soon?
Not anytime soon. No, I'm going to be an old lady. I'm going to die with it first. Yeah, I'll let her sell it.
When people see Grizzy's Hood News, they see you. I mean, this is pretty much you running the whole show, right? Is there anybody else that, or is Grizzy's Hood News like a one-man band, one-woman band?
It's a one-woman band. Like I'm doing, I have partners that help me with the website, my good friends from Brand Nation. I have a family member helping me upload the stuff on YouTube. But everything that comes in, vetting the information, pulling up to scenes, driving to the scenes, getting information, verifying facts, you know, interviewing people, reaching out, editing videos, captioning whatever I can, and sorting out, finding what's fact and what's, you know, what's not real. That's all me.
All right, some rapid fire questions here.
Yes.
One word to describe H-Town, what would it be?
Strong.
Strong. What's your favorite story that you ever covered with Grizzy's Hood News?
Aquaman, the guy that was trying to get away from the cops, and he was swimming in the bayou in about three feet of water, and he was actually like, the Hood Olympics are always my favorite. We have the Hood Olympics where we just see people's like crazy ways or their athletic abilities during some crazy moments. So we have Hood Olympics. That's one of my favorites. That's the funny ones, but no, the ones where we can help somebody. It's incredible. Like the man that got pepper sprayed in the face. There might even be a family reunion coming soon. So that's like, wow, I go to sleep very happy, very exhausted and mentally, because it's a lot to process and be there and do things. But at the end of the day, that's the meaning of Hood News.
How many messages does your page get every single day?
Between 500 to 700 a day.
How many scenes do you try to go to every night?
Oh my gosh. Like, about, I've been to up to 7. Up to 7 in one night, yes.
It's a lot of driving.
Yeah.
How many times do you gas up the car every week?
3 times and $46 every trip. Like every time I filled up, yeah.
At least you live in the oil capital of the world.
Yeah,
That's kind of nice.
for sure.
Do you remember after like the first year of doing Hood News, how many followers you had?
Yeah, I think it was like about 20K. It was small.
Did you think you made it back in those days?
I was just excited for the growth. It was so scary. Even 20,000 back then was a lot to me. I was like, wow, all these people are interested in this? Yeah.
So I asked you your favorite stories. What's the weirdest stories that you covered?
Oh okay, there was one where a man was found in a bag. Let me see. Hold on. Ooh, that's a weird one. Oh my God. Okay, I got one. The weirdest, wackiest story came out of Sunnyside, and I was getting pictures of body parts all over the road. Pictures, like people were driving by and sending me pictures of feet, hands, toes. And I get there and they had a perimeter around the area, but they were already clearing it. I said, how did this crime scene clear so fast? And I'm walking around, I don't even see anything to indicate there were ever body parts laid out. And it was like somebody left Halloween props scattered all over the road. And it caused so much alarm. Bus drivers were reaching out, kids were reaching out. And I had all these videos on my phone. I'm like, hey guys, I opened a trash can and I found all the body parts in the trash can. So yeah, that was the kookiest one I ever had.
What's like the neighborhood you find yourself in the most?
Ooh, I'm always up north in North Harris County. North Harris County, I would say, is like one of the busiest areas for crime, maybe, or stories that we pull up to, like scenes. Yeah, I would say North Harris County.
All right. How does some of the like phrases that you have, like Tia Grizzy, or like whenever you start a live stream, what do you always say when you start your live streams usually?
Hey, Hood News Peeps.
Like, where do a lot of these phrases come from? They just develop over time?
Yeah, I invent stuff. We call Mimas. We got Mimas. We got Peeps. We've got bandits. Just all kinds of weird names, all kinds of lingo. I've always been a nickname type person, so I love to dub things with a nickname. So yeah.
Is there anything that you wanted to bring up?
Thank you everyone I just want to thank everybody for their support. Everybody that's been riding with me since the first days when we didn't even know what it was, to the ones that ride with me now. And even those that don't like the hood news and voice that, thank you, because you give me so many more followers. You know, they're curious, they want to come see for themselves, and they stick around to stay. So thank you.
When you pull up to a scene, like what are you like? Kind of what goes through Grizzy's head?
When I pull up to the scene, I'm always looking to see, okay, do we have witnesses that I need to be, aware of, or what do I see? Is there somebody maybe dead at the scene, or is there somebody deceased at the scene? Or like I try to read the scene. Do I see somebody grieving maybe in one area? I need to be mindful of those things. So I just try to read the scene. Sometimes I see a lot of hood news peeps out there. A lot of the followers are out there, and it's always good to hear from them what they think and what they are seeing or what they might have seen before I even got there.
What's wild to me is like you were saying there were people there live, like there were people there at the crime scene that were watching you on your phone at the crime scene.
Yeah, that happens too, because I was live and some lady repeated something I had said in the live video. I was like, oh my goodness, she's out here with me and still watching the Facebook Live, which I thought was incredible. Yeah.
Like how does that feel, like knowing that people are like so attached to the Grizzy Hood News brand?
I love them, and I'm so happy to meet people and to know that, that they trust what I'm putting out there. I think it's an amazing feeling. It feels amazing. The hugs and the love is always great. I had one boy introduce me to his mom over the phone. He knew who I was, and he FaceTimed, and I FaceTimed with her, and I thought that was so cool. It was a cool moment. They're always happy to see me, but they don't know just how happy I am. I'm even happier to see them.
That's awesome. When did that start? Did it take a while for people to catch on, or has it
I always had like a peep or two, like the followers, it always happens, but now it's more big. It's way more bigger. A lot more people recognize me, and I think that's a pretty cool feeling.
Where's the term Hood News Peep come from?
That's who they are. The Hood News is the page, and the Hood News Peeps, because we're peeping everything. Yeah, we're peeping everything. We see everything.
And there's Hood News Peeps come from all walks of life.
All walks of life. We got rich peeps. We got poor peeps. I have a community of followers that are homeless, and they share their journeys with me. Like the culture, what's going on. And yeah, I get all kinds of people from all walks of life.
How did you come up with the name Grizzy's Hood News?
It was called the Hood News at first. And I guess there were other little hood news, so I'm like, oh, just put there was really no thought at first. If I could rename it, I would have taken my name out of it all completely. But yeah, it just kind of just started that way. Yeah, it's just really crazy.
So it started as just the Hood News.
Yeah, the Hood News, exclusive, I think, or something like that. And then there were like a lot of like people, I guess, with something Hood News related to it. So I was just like, yeah, I'll put a Grizzy's on it.
And Grizzy, I mean, do people think your name is Grizzy?
Sometimes they call me Grizzly. That's a big one too. That for some reason there's a mysterious letter L when people see my name, but it's not there. So I get called Grizzly, and it's Grizzy, and yeah, it's Griselda, but everybody calls me Grizzy.
So Grizzy's the nickname, and now Grizzy's now the brand.
Yeah.
Did you ever think that you'd make a brand off of?
I never saw this. No, never. I never saw this. Like this was all like no thought to it. Like I did not know that this was ever going to take off in the way it did. It was just me having fun with the phone and it started with the car shows and all those kind of deals, and then turned into like, okay, well, we have a need. There's a need for people's voices to be heard, and maybe a story that wasn't posted on the news, a happening that might not have made it on the news. Well, we can talk about it. Like, it was like more community.
So obviously people know Grizzy from, like the crime scenes, the different stories, like, it's like something wild happening in the community. Like the start of Grizzy very much so was, totally different. Like not even close to like
nothing what it is today. Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy. Like, do you think people realize like what your startup was and what it is now, and like all the different? Because I think people sometimes like think that
that I set out to do this, and I did not. I get called like wannabe reporter and all that. And I didn't want to do this. Like it wasn't my idea. It just kind of grew into that. I was just having fun. I was having fun mimicking reporters.
You're not mimicking. You're doing a damn good job
Thank
of it,
you.
Grizzy.
Yeah, yeah. Just calling it the hood news because it was like things happening in the neighborhood. But here we are. It's crazy.
So obviously you do got the scoop on just about everything that happens in Houston.
Yeah.
But that's not your only focus, right? You don't focus on the bad things that happen around town.
No.
I don't think I've met like a journalist or somebody that cares so much about an area than you, right?
Yeah.
Why do you care so much about Houston?
It's just everybody's well-being makes a better Houston. I believe that if we're safe, if we're communicating with each other what's happening here and there, whether it's a small little deal such as a porch bandit making people's lives miserable, them coming home, discovering, their hard-earned money is gone, like because somebody stole a package, or if it's a murder or a dog being abused, I think we all need to know what's happening so we can better Houston. That's the goal. Just communicating, amongst people, the everyday person or the millionaire or the officer that might follow or the fireman or maybe like a city council member that sees a post that we're trying to make awareness about a situation that needs to be addressed.
And this started as just like a goofy, like you just being you, but now you actually affect change.
Yeah. I think that's...
When you look at that, like, how does that make you feel? Like knowing that what started as just something goofy, you actually are now like making a huge impact in Houston.
It makes me happy for my neighbors and my community. It makes me happy.
That has to be rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you go out and you cover something like sad like that, right? But also, you're informing people. You cover a lot of like happy things and good things and investigative things, like that guy with the homeless guy that got pepper sprayed.
Oh yeah, that was But we turned that really. We let him know that he's loved. We let him know that people care. We brought children out to show that this is how you treat people, that you treat them with kindness and respect and love.
Tell me about Grizzy's, what did you call it earlier, bad girl days?
Oh yeah, back in the day I used to be wild. If anybody knows about the club scene, I was all up in there. Unfortunately, a lot of my crazy ways, like I was a student, I was a college student, but I just kind of veered off into a life of craziness. And I ended up doing time in prison, and from there I got out and I'm like, okay, well, I owe it to my daughter and my family to come out doing the right things. And, I own up to all my stuff, and I just want to give back to the community in any kind of way. And if I can prevent somebody else from being a Grizzy, like at some point, I want to help.
And if you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but how'd you end up in prison?
I was charged with 2 counts of aggravated robbery. Just one thing after another, being a follower, not being my own person. Made some bad choices, hung out with some bad people.
Do you feel like that helps you be a better Grizzy Hood News today?
Oh yeah, like I feel like I understand. But I also feel like for the victims, I'm able to tell the story and through this, I go talk, I give motivational speeches, I go talk to kids, that are in trouble or could be in trouble, and I tell them my story so that maybe history, maybe if I could save that one kid from making a mistake or something I say resonates with the young people that I talk to, I'm hoping that I can help one person at least.
I think it's remarkable that you were able to, go from that to, incredibly, wildly successful, independent journalist, right?
Yeah.
Did you, like, whenever you were in that phase, did you ever think that there would be like a total 180?
I knew life was going to be full of challenges, and, upon getting out of prison, I knew that things weren't going to be easy. I knew that education is important. I enrolled back in school, finished getting my associate's degree, and I knew that I had to keep educating myself and working, and that was the only way to not ever go through a revolving door. And I like to encourage people. I never saw this, though. But I feel like it helps me understand the stories that we're telling and the struggles.
It's almost like you were, and I don't know if it words in your mouth, but it's like you were given those life experience to be better at this and help people, right? So I think, again, I know you a lot better than like a lot of other people, right? you have such a care and compassion for people and for the city. And it's like, you know, you obviously have a different perspective on life and on different things that can happen.
Yeah.
Whereas you're now in a position to literally be like, hey, look at me. Like, I was making these moves that you were making now, and like, you can do this and snap out of it.
I want everybody to know that their past doesn't dictate their future. Like, some people let those things dictate or discourages them, and I'm here to tell them, like, I know what the struggle is. I know what it's like to not have money, to be broke, to I know all that. You know, we all have some kind of struggle, whether it's health, finances, whatever it is, our past mistakes. You know, some people, what makes me different than somebody else, I actually got caught, and I think in hindsight that was a blessing. Some people don't ever get caught, and they never get better, and you know, they have to deal with whatever they have to deal with down the line. But I think I've paid for my mistakes, and I'm just here to try to help somebody avoid making one, and not following my footsteps.
It's crazy though, because I guess, I don't know, like, I've interviewed, like, I'm not calling you an ex-con, but like actual ex-cons that like got in like FBI trouble, like real like federal stuff, and they work for like, or have worked with the government like as part of their deal, right? Like, in order to not spend the rest of their life rotting in a jail cell.
Yeah.
But it's like you do so much stuff with police departments and law enforcement and first responders, and it's like no one's making you do
they
that.
saved my life. Like, the way I see it, like, I used to be one of those people that used to say F the police, you know, I used to say things that I'm just like, looking back, I'm like, how could I say that? And there came a day where I was like, you know what? Those people saved my life. Like, I'm hoping to one day even reunite with the officer that transported me to jail, like on the day that I got arrested for a lot of my stuff that led me to going to prison.
That'd be full circle?
Yeah, I'm waiting for that. That would be full circle.
And that was here in Houston?
Yeah.
You're H-Town born and raised, right?
Yeah, H-Town born and raised.
Never left Houston?
Never.
Do you ever see a day where, like, Grizzy's Hood News retires to the sunny beaches of Florida or something?
No,
like that?
I'm going to be H-Town, like a Mattress Mac says, H-Town till I drown. Yeah.
H-Town till I drown. I've never heard him say that.
Yeah, he said that.
And through Grizzy's Hood News, you've literally met some of the most, you know, important, influential people in Houston.
Yeah.
You ever have like those pinch me moments?
I do. The first time I ever met like Mattress Mac, because I look up to him so much, or the mayor of Houston, or the police chief. I respect, you know, like the people that put in the work, you know, to keep our city, you know, safe and you know, like, look out for Houston. I just think it's really great. I think it's so amazing that I have all these different contacts in my phone, and I'm like, wow, like Trey the Truth, just different people from the rap scene, people in entertainment, not just you know, people in the positions of government, but also some amazing Houstonians, and even not even the famous ones or anything like that, just the common peep, you know, the lady that goes and saves all these dogs, and they rescue people all the time. Those are amazing people to me. I feel like I'm meeting celebrities when I meet those kind of people.